Welcome to another episode of Alpha Intuition Podcast. We're going to help you guys crack that crazy girl code. I'm your host, Keisha L. Blair, and joining me as always is the beautiful, insightful mind wellness coach, Essence Yarbrough. Essence, what's up, girl?
What's going on? Happy to be here. Ready
All
to
right,
get
guys.
going.
That's right. All right, guys. So today we're going to be talking about, we got a good topic for you guys. We're going to be talking about dating and getting catfished in the digital age. Man, online dating and social media is it's just making it hard out here for a pimp. I'm just saying, it's like you don't know if the person on the other side is really who they say they are. You know what I mean? So anyway,
Yeah.
we just run in with our first topic, and we are going to talk about technology's influence on relationships. So, Essence, what are your thoughts about how far technology has influenced relationships today?
It's one of those things, it's like that love and hate because you lose the dynamic of losing the local relationships right around you and seeing the quality and value that's right around you right in your neighborhood or in your city. And then it just expands and your mind goes, oh, I have all these options. And so therefore it's a catch-22 because you like meeting new people, other people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like I think you lose the opportunity to really read that person's energy in person. Like meeting, let's just talk about this. Everybody's on their phones nowadays, right? Everybody's
Mhm.
always looking down. How did you used to meet people? How did you used to meet dudes
I
back in the
mean,
day?
that's the same way. I meet
It's
mine
the
the same way now. I don't be, I ain't
I
in all
don't
that.
see
Well, I'm
it.
50, so look, I'm just saying, I ain't trying to be, that's just nah. I want to actually go out and
Hold
meet
on.
somebody and talk to them. I'm just saying.
Right. But how did you meet somebody? So it was when you're out and about and you just look up and you see somebody looking at you. And you're like, oh, what's up? Hey, how you doing? Like you guys are able to switch eye contact. But now it's like everybody's in their phones. So I feel like technology
Mm,
affects us in multiple ways. We're distracted. So I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like it takes away from us, but it also adds to us. It's a catch-22 for me.
yeah, it's all about that AI thing. And when you think about technology and how far AI has come as far as relationships, it's just a little scary because it can replicate people's voices and everything, and you just don't even really know if the person that you're talking to is an actual human, let alone the person that they're portraying to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
man, technology has almost just taken over on so many different aspects, especially in the relationship market. Like you said, people are always on their phones, they're always on social media. And sometimes you can you can have a whole relationship outside of the one you actually got. You can have one online,
Yeah.
And like you said,
Yes.
if the person is not even here, they're overseas. Like you can be in two totally different relationships at the same time. One realistic and one internet wise, or one in the technological
Ooh,
world.
that's so true. Because one could be more emotional, or one that you just kind of getting your money from, or one,
Mhm.
whatever is floating your boat. I remember this one guy told me how he was dating this woman, and she literally like was texting, messaging other guys that, oh,
Mhm.
they don't mean nothing to me, but they just sending me money for these pics. It's too much opportunity. And it's a verse, girl, in the Bible that says, all things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial.
Mm.
And I
Yeah.
think you just end up with some situations that just don't need to be had. It's not beneficial when it comes to needing and really wanting true love.
Man, but as far as is that really considered cheating though? So let's just say if you have someone that's online dating someone, sharing emotions and all that, but they never see him, they only see him online or only see him in the phone, on social media, is that still considered cheating if they're in a full-fledged relationship in real life?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you are in a relationship, if you're in a relationship, it's like, hello, because you are sharing your time, your thoughts, you're sharing anything else. God only knows what else you sharing, pictures like that girl was showing on her dude. And she was like,
Mm.
no, it ain't nothing to worry about. It's just how I'm getting some extra money. How he's supposed to, it just makes trusting people harder.
Uh, yeah.
And then it's just
Well,
not right. It's not fair.
I'm gonna tell you this: you don't really have control over the next person, so
You don't.
Excuse me, you don't really have control over the next person. So, the only person you can really trust is yourself. And if you have someone that you feel, I'm going to say this, that you don't trust, you have to follow behind, look in their phone, search pictures, man, that's really not somebody you should even be in a relationship with, because people, they're going to do what they want to do, whether you approve of it or not. So sometimes
Hmm.
just decide on whether it's something you willing to accept or something that is just a non-negotiable for you, and you just decide to move on. But then who's to say that the next person you meet, depending on how you meet them, whether it's online or in person, if you're going to have the
Right.
same situation.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't. You hold on. You just said something there. The same situation. And I think we hear a lot of complaints. I know I do. I hear a lot of complaints about I keep running into the same stuff, the same thing. And
Mm,
I wonder how much technology plays a role in that. Like you said, checking the phones and all of that. And, you know, people follow what their significant others are doing on social media. So, like when they go to these social media sites, why are you liking her stuff? Are you talking with her? You know, like just in random, like notifications on Facebook. It'll tell you, show you when somebody else likes some stuff. You don't know who's seeing what you liking and not.
but you just said something. You said you keep running in or keep doing the same thing or keep running into the same person. It could just be your
Hmm.
internal algorithm to where
Oh,
you keep going to the different places, but you keep seeking out the same people, because sometimes, and I've noticed this, people will be influenced by where they go, by the things that they see, especially that come across your phone.
yeah.
So it could just be like, okay, well, you see this thing about this party over here, and yet you keep running to the same guy. Next week, you see something about, I don't know, like an art
Mm,
exhibit, but the same people that's in your algorithm or in your same circle could be getting the same message. They could be getting the same type of
yeah.
information on their social media pages to where it's influencing them to go wherever you're going, and then you keep running to the same type of guy because you guys are in the same algorithm.
You know what? That
I'm just
makes a lot of sense. And
saying.
yeah, no. Well, well, that is very interesting because you ever notice how it'll give you a notification where it'll say, you know, that you like, let's just say if you're following somebody or you're thinking of following somebody, it'll say that it's like this channel over here, or it's like, so you
Yeah,
do have the same people that are in very similar algorithms as you. And now you have Facebook dating and things of that nature. So it's
yeah.
not like it's just the dating apps and stuff, but with technology, it's really connecting people. I say
Yeah,
that very
yeah.
shallow.
So, yeah. So is it really coincidental then that you're meeting these people? If, let's just say that people are always in their phones, how much information we put our digital footprint, how much information we put in these phones to where it tracks us and it knows all the stuff. And then you wonder why you
Yeah.
keep meeting the same person, because it's probably sending you out to the same place because it's already matched you up, basically, depending what the
Hmm.
information that you've either text, you put into a website, you've ever searched,
Yes.
you know what I mean? It syncs you guys up, and now
Yes.
you can run to the same guy because y'all searching for the same thing. And ultimately, you're going to find each other.
Yes. And see, and I don't know how I feel about that. Recently, the iPhone, even the iPhone just had this. They're coming to find out, like all of this stuff, these pictures that people had in their phones from way back, years back, literally are coming back onto their phones. And so new people that have their info, you know, their that new phone or that new tablet is
Mm.
seeing people's old
See,
pictures that they thought were thrown in the trash.
that's the reason right there why I don't turn my phones in. I got all my phones.
Yeah,
Either
I
that
have
long
all
as
of
I turn
mine
them
too.
in is if I break them to where they don't even work. Then yeah, I'll turn it in. Other than that,
Yeah,
no, I'm keeping my phones.
yeah,
No
yeah.
negative.
I still have broken phones.
But
They're
then
all
I'm
in a
gonna tell you
bag in
something else.
storage.
Look, speaking of pictures, I'm gonna tell you something I just can't stand. I don't really like that to
What?
where you say, like, you'll show me my memories from 1922. Bruh, I don't want to see that. You might be showing me some of a picture of
Hey,
somebody I don't even date no more. Stop it.
right.
It's in
It's
the
very
past. Why you
scary.
keep bringing up the past? Why you keep bringing up old ish? You know what I mean? Leave it in the past.
Yeah, it's connected stuff. I remember, but actually, matter of fact, just today I was emailing somebody. I needed their email, and so I'm talking to the person on the phone to get the email. As before, I could even ask them for the email. I'm typing in like, oh no, no, excuse me. I asked him for the email. He gives me the first two letters. I put it in. Boom, his email pops up in my text
Mm.
like as I'm trying
Yeah, you
to, or
probably
no,
seen
not in
it
the text,
before.
on a website. So as I'm no, I'm trying to put it in a website.
Mm.
And so he's like, yeah, probably because you already have my number in your phone. And I said, yeah, I don't like that. You know what I mean? I like having to ask you what your email address is
Well, let me
versus,
tell you
so I
this.
could send you this information.
People would say you got a memory like an elephant. Now you got a memory like AI, because AI don't forget nothing.
Right, right.
Nothing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what? Matter of fact, since you're talking about AI, I do want to take a moment. Keisha, I love your shirt, Keisha the electrician. And I saw online how you were. Yeah, it's looking really good. You look gorgeous. And I just really wanted to commend you because you are actually going out of your way to reach a million children to teach them about, the AI. What is it called? What do you say? The AI,
Jobs that will
AI
never be
resistant
consumed or
jobs.
taken over by AI. And there are a lot of jobs
Yes.
out there. Like I said, I choose to focus on the skill trades because I'm an electrician and that is a skill trade. But
Hmm.
there are other job and positions out there that are AI resistant that are very, very important that humans must do, like being a doctor or being a nurse, being a psychologist, someone where you have to have that human interaction. Those are AI resistant jobs. So, like,
Yes.
I appreciate that. Yeah, but girl, I love my shirt. My son made these shirts for me. My son got his company
Oh, he did a
Outspoken
good job.
Designs. Yes, yes. So he made these shirts for me. I'm gonna have to tag his
Looks good.
stuff down in the bottom. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Ali,
Hey.
outspoken designs. Yeah. So he made my shirts for me. Very proud of him. But yeah, AI resistant jobs, girl. It's like that. That is my goal. My goal is to try to speak to 1 million children between now and May 31st of next year. So I want to make sure I'm
Yes.
going to of course the goal is to always make money and get paid, but the bigger thing for me is to touch lives. So I'm trying to touch lives. I'm trying to
Right.
make sure I get these young children to be aware of these positions out here because it's some good money. I ain't gonna lie. I've been making six figures for a long time. So I love it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring that up. I know that wasn't part of the plan of the discussion, but Keisha, I'm really proud of you about that. I'm working on my own little stuff as well. So you always support me in that. So I just wanted to
Yeah,
just
I
bring that
appreciate
up because yeah. So the
more to
AI, the tech,
come.
huh?
I said
You
more
said
to come
what?
on that, more to come. I'll
Yeah.
definitely be doing these shows weekly. I'll let you know where I'm gonna be and speaking if I'm going to different cities and where I'm gonna start in the state of Tennessee because that's where I am. But I definitely want to venture off and um, you know,
Yeah.
take it
Yeah. And
regionally.
then
Yeah.
we could put in the description also if people want to know how they can contact you to speak, at their companies or anywhere, at their schools, wherever, to learn about these AI resistant jobs. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there, girl, because
Hey, that's all
I
right.
believe in what you're
I'm
doing.
all for it. I'm all for it. Wherever the Lord takes me, that's where I'll be.
That's what's up. That's real right there. That is so real. So, I mean, not to segue, I digress, but I just, when it comes to tech, there are the drawbacks, and we do have to have wisdom as we move into more of a technological society, and it's moving fast. And so, right now they're talking about like, they're talking about how AI, you can marry, a hologram. Like, really? Like, if you don't even want to deal with people anymore, people are marrying holograms. People are marrying
Girl,
themselves.
look, I
But
ain't gonna
they're
lie.
also,
I was gonna say
yes,
I feel like I'm married to Echo because I call them all the time to do stuff from
you do
turn
be
on the
talking to
light,
Echo.
turn off the look, and I'm talking to like, why you talking? Look, it know what I mean. So I'm talking to Echo like it's an animal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I've heard people cussing out Amazon and Echo and all of them, and Siri, getting mad at Siri. It's like look, I refuse to even activate Siri on my iPhone. Like, I just won't even. I only got that phone because my agent Shane, he sent it over and forced me to use the iPhone. He was just like, yeah. So
Yeah, I don't know
at
if you
the
have
end,
too much.
shout out to you, Shane. Shout out to Shane.
Yeah, what up?
So on relationships, Keisha, how do
Hard to say
you
about
think?
Shane. I'm gonna hold on to that one. What's up, Shane?
Right, right, right. That's the homie. That is the brother right there doing this thing over at Zeus Network. I wanted to ask you though, what do you think technology's influence on relationships is doing to like the individual? Like, how do you think it's impacting relationships or
I
the
don't think
ability?
I
happening.
think it actually depends on a person's addictive spirit and how strong or weak it is. Because I'm gonna tell you what, I've gotten caught up before to where I looked up, man, it's been like 2, 3 hours I've been scrolling. I didn't even realize I was in whatever app I was in for so long, just looking at stuff, and then and
Yeah.
I realized this after a while, but if I'm up late at night and I start scrolling, just start looking at stuff, 2, 3 hours go by, I don't realize just the light or the images from the screen from my smartphone is actually keeping me awake. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So I'm like, I gotta
It
shut this thing
does.
down. This is ridiculous. And I'd be looking at like funny stuff, just be keeping me up, be crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Yeah.
scrolling for 2, 3 hours, like, oh
Yeah.
my God. And just think about, children or people who actually who can't who don't even think about that. And, they're scrolling, they're
Right.
become addicted to it and don't even realize that they're
Yes.
addicted to it. So I think, to answer your question,
Ooh,
how I think technology influences relationships, I think it really just depends on a person's addictive spirit and whether or not they recognize whether or not that they have become addicted to social media or to scrolling.
that is very powerful. And that blue light, it does keep us up. It blue light, different lights from the TV, from our screens, it does keep us up. It makes me wonder what radiation is doing to us. You see people like measuring radiation on the phones and the devices and all of that in our homes. And it just makes me wonder how that's impacting our health, over
Mhm.
time, because technology, this is such a technological age right now. Everything is just going so fast, and 5G now, and then what's next? So how is that impacting our minds with these earbuds in our ears, and things like that? They're looking more into the health of our bodies now with all
Mhm.
this, with all these devices that we're connected to biologically. It's throwing things off, and they're
Yeah.
connecting fibroids and all that. So how, again, everybody knows that health affects how we interact with other people. So
Yes.
relationships and everything, our relationships with our children,
That's
relationships with,
exactly what I was getting ready to bring
especially,
up. Yeah, it's more than just
yeah,
relationships with your partner. It's
yeah,
relationships at work, relationship with friends, just relationships in general, and it can affect all of that. Because
yeah.
sometimes people get. I mean, I didn't mean to cut you off. People get so caught up in
No,
being on their computers and getting in technology. Sometimes they can even develop agoraphobia, to where they don't even want to leave the house because
oh,
now you
yeah.
looking at so much stuff online, it's making you afraid to go outside.
Ooh, you hit on something. You hit on something because I have seen people really affected by second and third hand trauma like that. And
Hmm.
because it's traumatizing to them, they see something, or like my children, I've had to have so many discussions with them where I have to bring them back to localize their experiences and say, hey, you are acting as if you lived that experience, and you're taking on the anxiety from an experience you never had. You never had it. So recognize that in this moment, and they're just like, oh my gosh, I am acting like this is truth, and like this is my truth. It's not my truth. So there's a way, like having to
That's like
specify,
my
and
children.
men as well, right? It's like
It never
it's
happened.
it never happened. Right. It really never did happen. Like, it's like, but you can't even convince some people because we think we really know. You know what I mean? So it's just like and what I'm seeing is that technology is really interfering
Mhm.
in the overall perception that we have of relationships. Also, it's impacting what we think of men, it's impacting what we think of women. You have all these women that were just fine with a man who had a 9 to 5 and loved them.
Yep.
Now, because everybody on the internet talking about how he's got to make 6 figures, and they got bills, at clawing at him, they're like, oh yeah, he do need to make 6 figures, because when I think about it, it really ain't enough. You see what I mean? So it's like, what do we do? Like, what? How do people awaken from that and think it's like that's not their reality? If they look right there in their own community, Keisha,
Yeah.
what's so wrong about the dude next door? If he got a good job, if he got an education, if he's chill, what's wrong with
So
him?
so I think that we hit on a lot of points about the negative side of it, but what about some of the positive aspects of dating, social media, and relationships? I'm serious. There could be some positive. Let me just bring up some of my
No,
positives. Hold up.
no,
Now
hold
listen,
on.
listen, listen, listen. Listen, let me say something I think is a positive. I'm gonna give you one of my positives. Big positive is that I can cut you off and I can block you, and I ain't never gotta
Yeah.
talk to you again. That is a huge plus. Somebody that contact me on social media, man, I can block, delete, do whatever. Thank you, AI. Thank you, technology, to
No.
where this person, I ain't never, they don't even know where I
Wait,
live. I can get rid of them.
hold on, girl.
That's a
Wait,
positive.
oh, but hold up. But Google will tell everybody where you live. Because I used to Google my last place. Or place before last. I was like, let me Google my name. Girl, they said she lived right here. It's literally a little red arrow that pointed to where I lived. Like, that is a downside,
That's what you
especially if
gotta,
you don't know who
update
you.
your information. I'm just-
Girl, right? No, but it's true. I had to go back and I had to just delete stuff. And now, if anybody sees something, it's probably like it's like old in a mug. But it's trippy to me how you that wasn't a rhetorical question I was asking. I was really asking you. You slick went right on by that, but I was probably
what?
long winded, and I do know myself.
What was the question?
Huh?
You missed.
I asked you because you know how I do. I was asking, how do you think? Or shoot, nope, that was the previous girl. You asked you girl.
What was the
Now I don't
question?
forgot the question. I forgot the question. But either way, we on to the dating apps and social media.
So we were talking about relationships. So I'm trying to think. I don't think I
Okay.
missed nothing. I thought I see. I thought you was wrapping that one up. Obviously, I wasn't listening. My bad. It'll come back. Well, AI. What was we talking about? No.
Right. Rewind that for us. Replay it. But no, bro, really, girl, my eyes water. You know about my allergies. Um, but no, I think ultimately what it was about primarily, it was just how when it comes to relationships and how it is affecting us, technology. Like, what do you think? Like, how can we get around? Almost like I'm going back a little bit, the loss of privacy. How I think
Mhm.
that things on social media says a little bit too much on Facebook. All they got to do is go to your page and see everything that's there,
Well, I'm gonna tell you
like
what I
all
don't
your
like.
hobbies.
It ain't even that. I don't like how they be trying to find out who all my relatives are. You know what I mean? They make you think that it's
That's what I'm
cute to be
saying.
told
Yeah.
that, oh, is this your cousin or is this your niece or is this nah, stop telling folks we related. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then
Hmm.
like you said, it's all about connections. You making that connection.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
speaking of though, this is totally off topic. But I had somebody call me yesterday asking me for, I don't know, talking about student loan. Bro, gonna have the
Hmm.
audacity to tell me that my loans were in default. I'm like, no, they're not. My bills are all paid up. I don't know what you're
Right.
talking about. And he said, oh,
Hmm.
well, let me check for you. I said, okay, well, you go ahead and check. Oh, we can, you only got to pay 10%. I don't even know what I pay now. He said, well, when's the last time you've been in your app, inside your app? I don't know. I said, I'm on auto pay. That's how I know I'm all caught up. So he says, oh,
Right.
we're going here once a week. Once a week for what? I'm not even making payments once a week. Oh, well, let me check, and ask me for my email. I said, well, all my information is correct. So if you calling me, you got my phone number, you ain't got my email. So I gave him the email, right? I was good with that because it's already out
Hmm.
there. And he said,
Hmm.
just to confirm if that is you, what's your birth date? I said, I'm not giving you that. I said, because if
Oh,
you
I knew.
call
I
me,
was about to
you
say,
know my
girl,
birth
you already
date, I
know
said,
it's
I'm
a
not giving
scam.
you that. And I said, see, because you see that money that I owe in that account, that was for a degree in IT. So guess what I will not be doing
Hmm.
is allowing you to fish, spoof, whatever you want to call it. Not going to happen. I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang up and I'm going to call the Department of Education and I'm going to talk to them myself
Right.
because honestly, they would never call me and ask me for my information like that. So goodbye.
Right.
Hung up on them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole, yeah, they're doing that a lot. And that's again, that's another issue with technology is that, they're calling up people, getting their voices, hitting up kids, acting like the AI voices of the parents saying, hey, or of to the parents of the kids voices saying, that they want to, that they kidnapped them. If you want them back, you got to send this amount of money. And then the
Man,
kids be perfectly fine. Yeah, so things like that, technology, that's scary. You know what I mean? Because you can't always tell what's real. You can't always tell what's fake. When it comes to dating apps, did you want to go on to dating apps? Because I
well,
could
I just
talk
want to
about
talk
the
about the
issues.
positive. I know. Let's talk about. I want to talk about the positive aspects of it, though, because there are some positive.
I
Everything
know,
always
I
be
know,
negative.
I
Try to be
know.
stuff I hear about technology. I'm gonna tell you one of the things I love is it's like, man, it it thinks a lot faster than I do. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when you that's just
Yeah.
AI in general.
Yeah.
That's one of the plus
Yeah.
sides of it. Just like a calculator. It can compute. I can add the stuff up. I can write. I can do all these things. But why do that? It's like it's saving time. So there is a
Yeah.
benefit. It's a
Yeah.
time saver.
It
It's
is.
it's
So,
it,
okay, some positives. So some positives, like I just be playing around with AI and I done wrote a whole country rom-com book, novel, like short novel, just for the heck of it, just to see if I could do it. Girl, all I
that's
did was put in my synopsis.
it
What?
never happened. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, girl, look, it never happened. No, look, and so, but AI, in a sense, look. I didn't write that book. Now I got a book I just spent 5 years writing, Keisha. A book I just spent 5 years of my experience, tears, going through the motions, and I just finished that book. And then I'm like, let me see how easy it is for me to write a book through ChatGPT and Clyde, right? Girl, just like that. And I shot the first beginning of it to my homegirl. She was like, "Girl, that book is good." And I'm telling you, all I did was give it its parameters and watch it, and then just shape it as it went along. That's all I did.
So how come
I,
we can't do
mm,
that and put that information into a dating app and it spit me out the perfect man that I want? I'm
girl,
just saying.
so
When
there,
we gonna get that
so I'm
version?
gonna
That
be
would be a positive.
No, so there are apps out here, and I'm actually going. Let me know when you want me to kind of call out some because there are apps that are trying to get as close to that as possible.
Look,
Now,
you gonna end up dating Jeffrey Dahmer. And I'm just saying, you better watch out, girl. Look, you putting out
there
just
was
you putting that kind of stuff in there because guess what? It cannot do. It cannot tell you about the mind of a person. It is artificial. It is
yes,
not authentic
yes,
intelligence. So because it's artificial, it's
yes,
not telling you how somebody actually think. Oh, they can because guess what? The person on the other side can be putting whatever they want to in there, and then you
yes.
bringing this crazy man to your front door. Negative. I'm not doing it. No.
You, I would not be surprised, Keisha. Mark my word on this. That these dating apps are going to get so sophisticated. It might be something out there like this now. What I'm about to say. But I'm thinking they'll get so sophisticated that as you are interacting, the AI will kick in to show any signs, like in just when you're chatting, when you're doing voice chats or you're doing texting chats in the apps. I am telling you, I am wondering if it's going to analyze those AI to see if it finds any patterns of psychological ailment. If it,
Mm.
now, not to say, oh, they're like this or oh, like that, they would have to say it some other type of way, but you know, it might give a level of where that person might be on a psychological level.
Mm.
I would not be surprised if that happens. Well, this person shows signs of, I won't say they probably can't say narcissism, but it might, or, it might show a psychopathy, but they can't say that obviously, but they're just probably going to get sued. But
Yeah.
at some point, Keisha, I would not be surprised. I'm just throwing that out there. But right now, there are apps, huh?
I'll say, AI is growing. I mean, technology is growing exponentially. It's like every time you look up, it's
Yes,
quadrupled, it's tripled. If you know what I mean, it's gone farther than it's ever gone the next day than it was the day before. So it's replicating itself
yes,
at a rapid speed.
very quickly.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
But
So when it, uh-huh.
no, no, no. You go ahead and finish because I really want to tell my story, but about this
Oh,
catfish
I
episode that
want
I
to
had.
hear it.
No, I want you to finish your.
Oh, hold on. We got to get to that. Wait a minute, because I want to get to that. I want to say this though while we on the dating apps and social
Go
media.
ahead.
I want to say that there are different levels to this thing. So you might not want the free stuff. The free stuff is, the ones like Plenty of Fish, Hinge, what's the other one? Okay, Cupid. I got a list here. I didn't want to forget
Girl, you ain't
Bumble,
gotta do that.
Tinder.
I ain't getting on none of them things. I think I may have been on one, possibly two, and I didn't last long because it was just like it just didn't.
Yeah.
It was artificial. You know what I mean? And then the folks I
Yes.
met, nah,
Yes.
there's something wrong with them. But then I'm gonna tell you
I
this:
tried three of them.
there's been something wrong with folks I met at the airport. Something wrong with folks I met at the
Yes.
gas station. Some folks
Yes.
it's something wrong with everybody. So
Yep. Yep. It's either a match or it ain't. no matter how you meet them, right? And then so they have those are like more the free sites. But then I tried 3 of those, okay, and then one actually I ended up in a relationship, and then the relationship ended, but we're still like pretty cool. Like it just wasn't a good match. So then mid range memberships, it's like Match, eHarmony, stuff like
Yeah.
that, Christian Mingle.
You went
So
from the
then
free
you have those.
to pay for though. So the ones you got to pay for, but you still got some crazy folks that'll still be paying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. So hold on. So then because you have like what are those are just more mid range though, right? And they kind of match. They're kind of like just the more paid, but more of a supposedly quality type person who's really looking for marriage, a relationship,
Yes. I
as
actually
opposed to the free ones.
no, I actually paid a matchmaker one time, and it was just like because I didn't have nothing else to do. Where it was just going on blind dates. After the second one, I was like, I need my money back because
Right.
this is not what I
Right.
ordered. I'm thinking that if it's a matchmaker, that you're actually looking at the things that I want. You know what I mean? And match me up with somebody. You just send it anybody. I'm like, this is like return. No, that's like
Return
me.
to sender or throw them back.
This is like me going to go get my food from somewhere, and then me not checking it before I get home. And I get to the house and I open it up, and I'm thinking I'm about to have a plate of fajita nachos, and then you didn't give me a hamburger. What? This is
Oh,
not
I
what I
hate that.
this is not what
I
I
hate
ordered.
that. But yeah, yeah.
But now
And then you have, but then
restaurant. So yeah.
right. But see, then you have the higher end, right? Now, this is where a lot of people, their heads are always wanting to say, I need a man that's got 6 figures, right? Or you have the man that makes all the money and he wants the little hottie, right? The little 20-year-old or whatever. But these, I, so like but this is interesting because you pay a lot more. This is for more high income, high status people, right? So the league is called the league. And this one is very selective. You're only selected to be allowed on the app if you have a certain criteria. So it's like your education, profession, it's your background. They check all of that for you for that person, for each person.
Okay.
So that's a lot more costly. Then you have Luxy and their
But
stuff. It's for wealthy.
what I'm just
Hmm.
saying is like you can still have crazy folks on them. It's some crazy girl. It's some
So
crazy
hear
girl.
what I'm saying. Yes, but hear what I'm saying. And we know this for a fact because they got Raya. Raya's right. Raya's like for the celebrities and all of this stuff. And these people, it ain't helping them either. They still out here single. And so I think what people are missing, no matter what, my point in saying all of these is that no matter what, with all 3 of these levels, free to mid-level to high income, if you don't have good people skills, if you don't know how to have a relationship, if you don't even know exactly
You're
who
going
you
with that.
are,
I'm glad you said people skills because I was like, what's she about to say?
I don't know, girl, look here, out of my mouth, you already know. So, and then, but if people don't have those things, if they still are traumatized, and you can have all the money in the world to purchase an experience, but it doesn't mean that you are qualified for a covenant. You need like a covenant relationship with somebody, like marriage or having kids with them. It doesn't qualify you for that,
Yeah.
having money.
Well,
So you can do all the analysis. Like I know in India, it's really big where they do like the horoscope analysis. They break all of that down. But
and I'm
what about just the plain character of a person, the essence of a person?
I'm gonna tell you like this though. So it's like you can still do all of that, but if you ain't did the work on yourself, you ain't never gonna be right for nobody else. So
Yes,
you can go out
yes,
there and you can
exactly.
try to look for somebody else, but most of the time, people don't even realize it's you. It's not the other person. You can't find nobody because you
Yeah.
screwed up. Because you're constantly projecting yourself onto other people, expecting other people to accommodate the things that are wrong with you, as opposed to you trying to fix the things that are wrong with you. So that could be a part of the
Yes.
problem too.
Huge part, because if you don't know yourself, if you don't recognize this stuff about yourself, then you're constantly going to think that the problem is the other person when you are the common denominator, and people never figure that out. They just think, oh, it's only one person for me, and so it's going to be a lot of the wrong people. I
Yeah.
get it. I say that too. However, you got to work on yourself. You have to know yourself, or the person that might have been good for you had you been all fixed up and ready, you'll miss that person too and think
Yeah.
that it's a bad match.
I don't ever say it's only one person for me, because I mean there's millions of people, billions of people out here in this world, and you meet people all the time that you thought was the right person for you, and it wasn't. So you got
Yeah.
plenty of matches out here.
Yeah.
Just depends on the one that you're
Yeah.
willing to settle for when you meet them. But real quick, I
Yes.
want to tell you about my catfish story, girl. So
Yeah,
man,
girl.
this social media, I don't even know. I don't even know what made me do it. I was really cautious, so I thought, or somebody inboxed me, and I'm like thinking, I kind of looked when it searched on the page and everything, saw how many followers a person had. Okay, it almost looked like a real person. So I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of, start conversing back and forth. Mm. Then it went to, okay, so I was like, well, let's video chat it, right? And person was very reluctant on video chat with me, right? And I said, no, you need to. And then was asking me after about like 2 weeks, like, oh, well, I want you to be my woman. Well, how about I meet you in person first? Okay, that's just a little bit much for 2 weeks.
Right.
So then I said,
Yeah.
well, I said, we need to video chat more. Person told me they didn't even
Hmm.
didn't live. They were overseas for work. Okay, this is getting a little shady now, but okay, let's fine.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and
Yeah.
still converse. All right, I ain't gonna even tell you what country, but so video chatting, and I said, I was like, well, I can't keep the light on in here. So, but you just told me it was dark, but on that video, it looked like it was daylight. I'm like, huh. So that's when my spidey senses started going up. Then you sending me all these pictures. You're telling me you got kids. I'm like, well, let me send me some pictures of your kids. Okay, well, you send me yours. Nah, you send me yours first, right? So I see the pictures. Still
Yeah.
ain't sending me pictures of the kids. Okay, so
Hmm.
then it was like we did a video chat, and it was so fast. I'm like, that looked like a picture. Looked like you had your camera in front of a video. That's what it looked like. It didn't look like it, So I just was like, So a couple of pictures he sent me, he had this phrase on a shirt. So I looked the phrase up, and it was to a foundation, like a nonprofit, right? And it had the person in the shirt in the picture, but it was not the person I was talking to. Totally different name. So I took the name, when I put the name back in the social media platform that I was on, saw that it was a person, a human, a real person. And I'm like, I
Wow.
cannot believe this. And I said, wow, this person had thousands of followers,
Wow.
the other person. So I inboxed and I was like, hey, somebody is pretending to be you. They're using your pictures. Showed them social media. And then I reported the
Yeah.
person, and I deleted them, never talked to them
Yeah.
again. But the person was very
Oh
grateful
my
that
gosh.
I sent them that, because this
Hmm.
person had a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, hundreds, like I think, I don't know, 30, 40,000 followers. And I'm like, this person had
Wow.
no idea that somebody was using his identity. So if he had not been wearing that nonprofit name, I never would have found him. This
Right.
person would have been getting away with it. And
Wow.
then when I went and looked on the real person's page, I saw the video that he claimed we were video
Wow.
chatting. It was a video. Like I said, nah, that looked like you got your camera to a video. That's exactly what it was. I was like, wow. So protect your information,
Girl.
protect your social media. You just got to be careful of things like
Yeah.
that. And it's like, man, this person,
Woo.
I just told him, man, I hope they don't use my information to try to spoof or catfish nobody else. But he almost got me. Didn't I really, I don't even know what it was about. Didn't ask me for any money. Not yet, because like I said, only been a couple of weeks. It could have been leaning there. I
Yeah.
don't know. Actually offered to
Yeah.
give me. I'm like, no, I'm straight. I don't,
Yeah.
I'm not in.
Hmm.
No, I'm good. But that was
Mm,
just very, very,
mm,
very alarming. And I was like, wow. So since then, I'm like, no, I'm good on social media. It's too much crazy stuff out there to be trying to thinking that somebody is real,
mm.
and they're not.
Yeah. Well,
Look,
yeah, that, ooh, girl, I hope somebody really listened to that story and they start thinking a little bit more,
before
a
just
little bit
conversing
more
with people
deeply
online,
about,
because his
yeah,
page
because
looked
I've,
legit. It looked so legit. Had pictures on. I mean,
yeah,
had stolen this person's pictures off their social media page, stolen their pictures and created a whole
mm,
another page. I was just like, almost catfish. But then look, I dated this one guy, and man, I promise you, I wish he would have been a catfish, because he was crazy. Like, get him back. He was
oh
actually real.
my gosh.
You crazy for real. He was actually, it was something wrong with that dude. But I'm like, wow, it's just,
So he was
yeah,
an emotional catfish. I
he
think
was.
we get a lot of that more than we like to say. The emotional catfish ones, where they come off one way in person, and then when you pull the layers back a little bit, they are who they say they are, but then they crazy. They got a whole other slew of trauma and issues and disrespectful and all kinds of stuff will come out of them. It's crazy. You never know who
Had
you're
the
really
audacity to try
meeting.
to tell me something was wrong with me. I just agreed with him. Yep, you're right. Something wrong with me. Nice meeting you. Take
Right?
care. Yeah,
Right.
you're right. It is something.
Some of these
What's wrong
folks,
with me is that I ain't dealing with you. That's what's wrong with me.
right, right. Some of these folks are straight psychopaths. And here's the thing: people are coming out of situations, and I think they kind of use some of these dating apps to sort of get let off steam from when they've been coming out of another situation. I'm hurt about this. I'm done with men. I'm done with women. I'm just gonna be like that dude that's just gonna be, ripping through women. And so they'll go to dating apps like, I got the pick here. Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. Let me see what I can get out of these, right?
Mhm.
I feel like it's copy and paste messages and all kinds of stuff going on there. I remember I met with one guy. It was cool. We had been going back and forth for a few weeks. And so it was about this time our schedules kind of lined up. It was like, okay, yeah, we can meet up at such and such. And so we met at a park. It was a public space, people out there fishing, having a good time with family. I'm like, okay. He pulls up, we're cool, we're talking. And then he's like trying to get a little close. And the man asked me for a kiss. And I was like, no,
Bruh.
why would I kiss you? Like, no. Anyhow, I can't remember the full story because this is a while back. I met him off of Plenty of Fish. I should have known because I was just like, "Ooh, let me try." People are like, "No, try it. It's okay." No, it ain't. It ain't okay. The dude. So I said, "I'll give you a hug," and he was like, "Well, can I just give you a peck here?" And I was like, "Okay, we can hug." And then I turned my cheek, girl. I can't even move as fast as he did. I ain't even gonna try. So he swiped his head around to kiss my lips.
Mm.
Did that, and
Violation.
then tried to lick my neck.
Mm.
Oh, when I tell you the
Mm.
cringe factor on that, just your face right there, cringe. Yes. So I just so
So,
happened because we were at the park, I had mosquito repellent spray in my
oh,
hand. So I pushed him off and sprayed him with the repellent.
girl, you
It was
gone.
horrible. I said, okay, I said, you are out of order. Like, that's it. That's done. I'm done. We good. I'm done. Like that girl, could you imagine what that could have been like in a private setting?
Mm. Wow. Oh
We
my
were
goodness.
in a public setting. And this guy, I spoke to him for a few weeks. It was okay to like finally link up with him. We had pretty lengthy conversations. Girl, none of that mattered. None of that mattered. Like, so it's just,
Man, so
I
after
even,
that
I,
experience, so let me ask you, after that, so how did you navigate like protecting your privacy and boundaries with this person, knowing that I'm sure you gave him some type of information if he knew where you were, you met him in person. So how did you go about
oh, how did I,
past like
I never
after
talked
that?
about that. Yeah, I never talked to him about anything as far as exact like when I'm on apps, I never say what part of town I'm actually living in. So like on an app I'm
Nobody
on right
started doing
now,
that. I don't do that. I have to go, yeah, I
yeah,
live in Memphis. Well, I figured they could find out anyway.
yeah,
That's why I don't say where in Memphis, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm in Memphis.
but you can easily live in Mississippi and just make trips to Memphis. You know what I mean? Or, make trips to Mississippi. So that's why they'll never really know. But I always put just, if whatever the area is, you could always change the radius of where you are and how far out you want to go in some of these apps. So it's
Mm.
like, okay. But at the end of the day, girl, like the boundaries, you can set up as many boundaries, but a lot of people feel like boundaries are meant to be broken. And you don't know until you know. Like I
It's
was
called
engaged to
a
somebody.
boundary.
Yeah, right. That's why it's called a boundary. But I'm gonna tell you something. The only person that is responsible for enforcing that boundary, or the first person responsible for enforcing that boundary, is that person creating the boundary themselves.
Right.
And oftentimes, you say yeah because right? You actually put up a boundary and but there are people who put up a boundary, but they feel intimidated by other people and they let that boundary down. And that causes them harm. They become vulnerable,
Yeah.
so they had a boundary, they had a standard, but it's like, well, because of this and well, because of that, they don't realize that they're letting their boundaries down and they are becoming more vulnerable. And then they end up in a hurtful situation. So it is
Yeah.
trippy. Like, I know, but there was a
Well,
time when I was pretty gullible.
well, I mean, and all of us are in like certain situations, depending on, how old you are and who the person is
Yeah.
and where you are in your life. But even with
Hmm.
boundaries, like girl, I had the crazy dude where like, he Sometimes I don't even know why I answer the phone for some of these foods, but I answer the phone, one day.
Entertainment. Keisha, for you, I think it's
Yeah,
entertainment. I think you
maybe
just be like, let
so.
me see what he gonna say this
Let me
time.
see what he gonna say. So I'm like, he wanted to come and visit me. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, fine. I hadn't seen him in like a couple of months. Okay, so let's.
Mhm.
Like, well, not today because I'm busy. Oh, I want to come see you. I'm like, well, no, I'm busy. Well, I want to come see you.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna stop by. I just said no, girl. I'm busy. I said I got stuff
Boundaries.
I need to do. It was on a weekend. Girl, I looked down and I don't think doing my what do you call those? I do coaching calls, right? So I looked up
Mhm.
and this bruh then sit up there and text me like 14 times and called me 12 times. And I'm like, are you insane? Just saying stuff like, are you okay? Oh, I'm gonna send the police. I just want to check on you. Please answer me.
Oh my
I've
goodness.
been 2 months. Now today you want
Oh,
to make sure that I'm okay. How you know I wasn't okay the last 59 days? I'm like, really?
wow.
I didn't answer for
That
like,
is
what?
interesting.
Then I blocked and then I deleted. And I'm like, thank you, AI.
Mhm.
Don't send this person. I mean, you come over here if you want to, because the
You said
police.
AI.
Thank you. I'm like,
Yes.
yes, blocking and delete. I'm
Yes.
like, bro, no, absolute
Yeah.
boundaries. Look, if I specifically said, I said, not so this is part of the problem. I specifically told you that I was busy today. You
Mhm.
don't like taking no for an answer. So you're going to force somebody to do
Yes.
something. Red flag. Sorry. Nope, you're not coming over.
Yeah. And I think that is something important for men to recognize. There's one thing to be persistent, right? But the minute that you see that a woman is not receptive and she's becoming irritated or just straight up telling you, hey, look, this is a boundary,
No,
like this is what it is. Like, no, I've told you this. If she's telling you no, you really need to perk your ears up and listen.
no, don't mean to come
It's
over
not a cue
anyway.
to keep yeah, it's not a cue to keep going, man. It's just not. And to try to change up your technique, just stop. Just stop.
Exactly.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If she's interested, she'll hit you back, if she's really ready. You know what I mean? If she's really about that, if she's really about you. And then I want to mention this other thing about catfishing because there was this one guy. He was really cute, girl, and he actually did look just like his pictures. He was
Like
really
catfish.
attractive, right?
You like fried,
He
grilled, saute? What kind of catfish you like?
Girl, the catfish I like with some hot sauce. He was cute. Okay. And a side of bread and some mac and cheese and greens. And yeah, all that. So he was cute. But here's the thing. He lied on the app. He
Mm.
said that he was 6'1", right? I'm 6'1" in heels. Keisha, you and I are tall. We're 6 foot something in heels, right? Depending on the height, the inch of the heel.
Mm.
And so we meet up, right? We meet up and immediately, like I meet him at a job site or whatever. And he was a I don't know, contract. I don't know what he was, something like that.
Cat-
But he was really cute. He was really nice. But the first thing I noticed, he lied about his height. He lied about his height. He was
They don't lie
okay.
about their weight. Men lie about their height. That's minimal. How many
No,
inches
it's not. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
about what?
Because women, no, no, let me tell you. Oh, so he's about 5'10". So he was about 5'10". And here's the thing. I
3 inches.
really did it no, no, 6'1", and you could tell a difference. But here's the thing was that I didn't even have a problem with him being 5'10". You know what I mean? Like he was really that cute. He really looked like his pictures.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
know what I mean? And he looked taller in his pictures.
what was the
Hmm.
problem? What was the problem then?
The problem was he lied about that height so much, knowing that I'm going to see him. And to me, that was a character flaw. One. Two, as I started talking to him, there were other little things that all of a sudden just weren't adding up that he had told me previously. And I'm like, wait a minute, but he said it was this. So now, because you already got me on high alert now, because I see you blatantly lied about your height. So here
Mm.
it is, I'm hovering over you because I got on heels and I
Like,
can
bro,
see the difference. So
lie about them 3 inches, okay?
right. Right. Well, and that's the whole thing. And the reason why I say that because women will, because I just like what you said, some dudes that like women lie about their weight all the time. Yeah, but women, I ain't gonna lie, women got a lot of hormonal stuff that be going on, and
That ain't
women
no
are
way you
constantly
know.
fluctuating.
You know how much you weigh.
No, yes, no, I'm not saying if it's drastic, yeah, that's
That's
blatant lie, and I feel like a dude shouldn't rock with no chick like that. You know what I mean? But if it's like 8 pounds, something like that, Yeah, like to me that ain't nothing because of what shoot, she have her cycle that month and she's already 8 pounds heavier.
Girl,
You know what I
look,
mean?
I
That's
ain't
water weight.
that's a lot of weight. But what about no? What about age? People lie about their age all the time.
So my ex that I actually started dating, he did lie about his age, but I did not mind. He looked my age, right? But he was actually
Oh no, that's not
older.
no, that ain't fair right there. You mean tell
Nope, let
me
me tell you
you gonna
why.
be cool
Nope,
with
I'm
one
gonna tell you
dude
why.
that lie about 3 inches?
Nope. So
And the other one, oh no, he looked like he was my age. You was more attracted to
yes,
him.
let
Whatever.
let me
No,
tell
you can't
let me
nah.
tell you why.
Why?
No, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell y'all why. The reason being, Keisha, is because this dude looks so much younger than
He's still
what. And
alive.
on this particular app, on this particular app, they would send you that particular app. They would send you who's in your age range. And so now keep in mind, I still kept it in my head as a red flag, right? But he looks so much younger and
That's
he is
okay.
way older than me.
So
So
that's
I was
okay.
like, he was looking for women in a certain age range and he didn't want to be looked at as being up there like that. But what he did and why I still met up with him is because when the moment we started chatting, he said, I have in there that my age is this. I am not that age. I'm really this. He let me
So
know
had the
off
short
top
dude
before
had
we
told
even met.
had the short dude told you I got in there and I'm 6'1" because I like tall women, but I'm really 5'10", would you still been hating on him?
No, not if he would have inboxed me the way the other guy did before we met and said, hey, I'm saying this. I just, we've been chatting now and I want to go ahead and let you know if you're okay with this. I really like attracting, taller women, blah, blah, blah. If he would have said some stuff like that,
So it's
whatever,
okay to
okay.
lie
But
as
he
long as
would have
you tell you
let
about
me
the lie
know.
before y'all met up.
Huh?
So it's okay to lie
You
as
said
long as
what?
you tell you about the lie before y'all meet up.
Nope, it's because you go ahead and you tell me ahead of time, hey, look, I did this because I wanted to reel you in, but I'm just letting you know that's really not my height. That to me, that's more real. To me, that's being honest. It's like now we done had some conversation, and if you still not rocking with me, then I understand. You know what I
But you
mean?
still
But it's
lied
all
on the
good.
form.
I don't mind. I'm gonna be honest. If
Mhm.
you are saying
But
on
you
your
have it.
app and you get my attention, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, thank you for telling me. Now I might be giving some dudes some game on that so that they ain't got to lie to kick it. They can lie in the
That's
beginning,
lie no
right?
way.
But
That's
if you
like
gonna
at
lie,
your age. Girl, please, you ain't
if
got to
you
lie.
gonna lie,
Because
you need
listen,
to let them know. You really don't have to lie.
listen,
That's the whole point. They
but
shouldn't.
listen. On dating sites, you can set your age range for whatever you want. You can say that you were
Mhm.
interested in
Right.
people at a certain age range. So I can put on there that I'm 50,
Yes.
but if I want to date somebody between 30 and 40, I can still put on there. I'm not just gonna put that on 40.
Yes.
Oh, I look like I'm a lot younger than 50, so that's okay. No, it
No.
ain't okay. You don't like who you are.
No.
I'm
It's
proud to say I'm 50
but
years
it's
old. God has blessed me with a lot of days on
mm-mm.
this earth. I hope I get many more. I'm not afraid to say that because I'm super 50.
Yes,
So,
amen. I'm sorry. To me, yep, nope. As long as you let me know, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's really not that big of a difference, and you look so much younger. You know what I mean? But he didn't want to be counted out because of that. And it's really on the contrary. This guy actually had really good traits. He's a great guy. We just weren't
but the
a
point is,
good match, but we're still friends.
he still lied
We're
though.
still friends. And he's no, but he has been very upfront. That's why we're still so cool because he is quite transparent. But that I think that's where it's kind of tricky. You know what I mean? These
So that's
dating
what
apps, you don't know.
you got to watch out for on social media because you never know if somebody's
Yeah,
telling you you're lying, and then once they get you reeled in, they tell you the truth. That don't make it okay with me. You still lied on the front end. I mean, I'm still looking at you sideways.
right,
I will prefer for you to just put
right.
who you actually are and let me decide. Don't make that decision for
Yes,
me. So that's how I feel.
yes. Yes. Put in the real age, put in the real height, put all that stuff in because you could lose somebody off top. And then matter of fact, if a person is not really looking for that anyway,
Mhm.
what you are, do you really want to convince that person? You know what I mean? Just to tell the guys this, it's like you don't want to have to convince somebody. It's like, what you were just saying, Keisha, just being proud of who you are. But that's just like with me, there are some things where they say never focus on things that could be considered a negative. So
Mhm.
like for me, I'm not the curvaceous type, but in my pictures, I have more weight on me. I don't know why. I don't make it look like that. But in my photos, I look more curvaceous.
You changed time, girl. Look,
No,
I got black short hair in
hold
some of
on.
my pictures. It's just pictures.
Right. But in reality, guys have said, "Oh, you are much smaller in real life. You still look gorgeous, but your pictures, you do
That's
have more weight on you in your pictures."
yeah.
Yeah, I don't look at it as a negative. I know I'm beautiful. I feel great about myself. But at the end of the day, people notice that stuff. So it's like that's
But
just like women that only
um,
take pictures from the
but I
neck
used
up.
to do that when I was a lot bigger, but now that I lost almost 60 pounds, yeah, I'm taking full body pictures, but I never used to like to take pictures like that. But I would still,
Right.
first of all, I'm not telling nobody my weight like that. No way. It ain't none of their business. You see me, and
They
if you
should
don't
just be
like
able to see stuff in a
my,
picture.
I would never put that on a dating site. My weight, I wouldn't
Right.
do that
And
because
I don't know if they do that. Is that like a requirement? Like on some of these
you the
sites,
one,
do they do that?
you don't want a dating expert, not me. You know, on all the sites, girl. I don't know.
No, because I'm trying to remember. I never really paid much attention to that. Oh no, no, no. That's what they do. They say body type. So
Oh yeah, there you go.
like slam. Yeah, they
After
do the
the
body
day,
type.
try to give you. Mm-hmm.
Right, right.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
hmm
Well, I'm
But
gonna have to say,
ultimately, huh?
go ahead.
Oh, well, ultimately, like I think you want me to wrap it up. You gonna wrap it up too? You want me to wrap it up? You gonna wrap? Gonna start rapping? All right. So ultimately, dating apps for me, I feel like it's something to do. I think it's something to try. But I know dating coaches that completely speak against them, and they're like, no way. I was gonna be engaged to somebody, right? And this wasn't on a dating app, but we had been knowing each other, talking and all that for years, just online. Well, we ended up getting like taking it into a serious space, talked for quite a while in that serious space. He came out, we hung out, we just started really kind of connecting more and more. We ended up dating, and then next thing you know, it just all fell apart. It was a total nightmare by the end.
Wow.
So for me, it was
Well,
just a total nightmare.
well,
So at
I'm just
the end of the day, hmm,
no, I'm just gonna say that that's why, like for me, I choose to date people the old-fashioned way. I have tried
yes,
dating apps, but they are totally, they're not for me. But some people might like them depending on their lifestyle and how much they travel and how they want to meet people and what status they are.
yeah.
It may be beneficial to some people. I choose to just get out and just meet people the normal way. So
I want to
that's
see. I want to see something. Let me. So while before you wrap it all the way
I'm
up,
about
I
to
want to
wrap it
see
up.
something real quick. Yeah. How? Hold on.
You got 30 seconds.
Yep.
What are you doing?
I'm curious to see how many people actually marry from dating sites.
Well, we can look at that next week because as you see, uh
So they say. So you have 40% of people that's dating they met on these sites, right? So about 10% of people at least still end up getting married or in serious relationships from dating apps. So I think there's a whole lot of what's wrong before you get to what's right if you ever find what's right on a dating app.
well, on that, guys, we are going to let y'all go. And today has been a fun-filled episode on dating in the digital age. But remember, it's all about understanding, communication, and respect. Just make sure that you communicate and that you respect each other, and you try to understand yourself before you try to understand somebody else. Hope you guys found today's
hmm
topic to be helpful on your quest to cracking that crazy girl code. And as always, we love hearing from our listeners. If you have any questions or topics that you'd like for us to discuss or cover on our future shows, just drop us a message or leave us a comment below. And if you enjoyed today's show, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave us a review. You can also connect with me in Essence on social media. You see our tags down there from Instagram. And for more updates, you can join us in a conversation. But remember, as I always tell you guys, the journey to the top of any mountain begins with one single step. Don't stop, keep climbing. Thank you for tuning in to Alpha Intuition Podcast. Until next time, peace.